Good morning, children. So, children, today we are going to just conclude the lesson development. In my previous video, I have discussed all about what is development, what does development mean to different people in different countries. Isn't it? We discussed development with various examples. We discussed that how World Bank defines development. According to World Bank, what is the definition of development and what are the criteria for development according to World Bank. And according to World Bank, the criteria is national income and per capita income. Okay, we discussed that. Then we discussed about material and non-material things. What is importance of material and non-material thing in life of an individual? Many a times we see that non-material things like love and emotion, they matter a lot than material things like money. I gave you many examples, children, in explaining this point. The example was, suppose your father is being transferred to such a place where no job security, no life security is there, where he cannot take his family. Suppose he is being transferred to a place like Jammu Kashmir and sometimes Assam. What will he choose? He will choose the place where he gets life security. Though he gets more salary in those places, but then also he gives more importance to his life and security. I also gave you example of a boy in your class. Suppose a boy gets admission in your class. He belongs to a very rich family and he thinks that I am richest, I have money, I don't require anyone, I don't require friendship of anyone. For some days he will exist, but afterwards he will feel isolated, he will feel lonely and he will start making friendship with you, isn't it? Because he has realized importance of love and emotion. So with these examples we proved that many a times non-material things are more important than material things and they lead to development of an individual. All these things we discussed in the previous video and many questions come from this part. Children, in your NCERT book, there is a column in which it is shown that how do different sections of society for them development means. Example of a landless farmer is being given. For landless farmer, for him development is getting more wages and salaries. Second, he thinks that his children at least study in good local schools of the village and towns, isn't it? And the second example was example of a big farmer or a zamindar. According to him development is, he feels that he gets maximum profit by giving less wages to the laborers. He also feels that his children does not study in the local school, they go and study abroad, isn't it? So like this, there are different people and different sections in the society. According to them, the meaning of development is different. In your book also one example is given of a girl who belongs to a rich family in urban area. According to her, development means she gets equal freedom and equal opportunity like his brother. Suppose many a times you see that when a girl comes home at late night, her parents always question, why you are late, why you are roaming here and there, why you are not coming at right time at home. So many a times it happens. So a girl from rich family, she feels that she should get equal importance, she should not be questioned. For higher studies also in many families, now also we see that boys are given more preference, but in rich and urban family, girls feel that they should also be given equal importance. So these things are given in your book, and from this portion, first questions did not come in your exam, but in the previous board exam, questions came from this column also. So children, don't ignore this column, you have to prepare everything. Short questions, one-line questions come from this part. Okay? So we have discussed all these things, that what development means to different people in the society. Then we discussed that many other things like either than income, which are the criteria which are used for measuring the developmental level of country or a state. And in that I gave you example of the different states like Kerala, Punjab and Bihar. And in that we saw that though Haryana is having the highest per capita income, but then also In case of development, Kerala is the most developed state because Kerala is having low infant mortality rate and high literacy rate. This proves that only income does not means development. Along with income, many other things like literacy rate, that means educational level, health status of a state matters a lot in measuring the development of a state. If a state is economically well off, if per capita income is more but other criteria are not fulfilling, that state can never come in category of developed state. We also discussed the definition of various different terms like per capita income, literacy rate, gross enrollment ratio, net attendance ratio. Everything is given in the book. I have also discussed, and these terms are very important. You have to revise for your board exams also, and it can come in first term exams also. So please revise all these terms. So all these things we have discussed in the previous video. Then we discussed the various other points, like the most important point was this question always comes in a board exam. See, along in this revision class, along with the discussion, I am telling you the various questions which can come from different parts. One question that is very important is, money in your pocket cannot buy all the things that you want. Justify this statement. This statement every alternate year it comes in a board exam. So please pay attention. If this question comes, you have to explain. The explanation is given in your book and I have also explained. See, I will explain once again. Money in your pocket cannot buy all the things you want. And I gave you the current example that now you see that in COVID-18 this disease has been spread throughout the world. Many people you are seeing that they are rich also, well off also, but then also they are not getting cured, they are getting infected, and the whole world is getting infected with this disease. People are having money, they are rich, but then also they cannot save themselves from this infection, isn't it? In your book, the various examples like money in your pocket cannot buy you pollution-free environment, isn't it? For getting pollution-free environment, what is required? Government takes many steps. Government has to take many steps to just how to remove pollution from your area where you live. While teaching, always I give you example of from the area from where you come. Suppose there are many places in Patna where pollution is there, but then also people are living there, they cannot save themselves from that pollution though they are having money. Various other examples like there is, suppose if you are living in an apartment and in that area, suppose due to some reasons theft and robbery has been spread aloud. So what you will do there? You see that separate security guards are there in every apartment. Why these security guards are there? These guards are appointed by the whole apartment or flat, and it is reasonable, everyone gives the contribution, but is it possible that in every house a separate guard is there? So there are certain things in a country which has to be availed publicly. When everyone will have, then you will also have. Many examples are given that you are able to go to school because schooling system is there in a country, isn't it? So if this question comes in your exam, you have to write that money in your pocket cannot buy all the things you want. That means money cannot buy you pollution-free environment. Money cannot buy many other things like job security, life security. For this, many other things are required. So if this question comes, you have to prove this with this example. So this is also a very important question. Now after this, we will discuss the last part of the lesson, that is public facilities. Public facilities are those facilities which are provided by the government and which is availed by the people of the country in collectively. For example, school, colleges, all these things, hospitals, these are the example of public facilities. In economics lesson number 2, I have explained you that government in a country has taken responsibility of various public facilities, isn't it? So public facilities are also very important for a state to develop. I have given you example of Haryana, Punjab and Bihar. In Haryana, in Kerala, why Kerala is considered as a developed state? Because various public facilities like health facilities, good hospitals, good schools are there in Kerala, and so most 100% or 99% literacy is there in Kerala, and that's why Kerala comes in category of developed state. So public facilities are very essential for development of a country, isn't it? So a separate short note comes in always in exam, that write short note on public facilities. And the last part of the lesson is sustainable economic development. So sustainable economic development is also very important question. It mostly comes in exam for 3 marks or 2 marks. Now children, sustainable economic development, this we have studied in geography also. What is sustainable economic development? Sustainable economic development is that development in which the present generation develops itself, but it also thinks about the future generation. That means the development is done keeping in mind about the future generation. That means wastage of resources is not being done. Whatever resources you are having, you are using it judicially or wisely, so that no wastage is being done. Many examples I can give you. Suppose in school, mostly you see that in the last period when you go out of your classroom, you never switch off the lights and fans. Then what is the use of that? Nobody is there to avail that electricity, that fan and light. So what you should do? You should switch off the light and fans. That means you are using the wise use, judicious use of the resources. And if this has been done by the people of our country and world, we will be also able to use the resources, and we will leave enough resources for future generation also. But what we are doing, we are not thinking about future generation. We are just thinking about ourselves. We are wasting water, we are wasting many other resources, wasting electricity, and thinking that we are using it. No, it should not be done so. We should also use, and we should leave for the future generation also. And this aspect of sustainable development is not limited to the boundaries of one country. It is important for all the countries in the world to accept the sustainable economic development, isn't it, if the world wants to exist. So for development of the world, for development of any country, sustainable use of resources should be done, isn't it? We are seeing that the oil reserves, the water, everything is being getting exhausted. A separate table is given in your book where it is shown that how different reserves of a country are getting exhausted, and this type of use, if it will continue for a long period of time, what will happen? Everything will be finished and nothing will be left for the future generation. So for future generation, what is essential? Sustainable use of all the resources should be done by the people of not only our country but countries of the world. So with this topic, the chapter is over, sustainable economic development. So, and yes, one or two things are just left. We have discussed about body mass index and HDI. Body mass index I have discussed also. I have shown you the formula also. This is also a very important question. BMI means it measures the nutritional level of a person in any country. I gave you the formula. BMI means total weight of a person divided by square of heights, and whatever is the answer, it is body mass index. If this question comes for 1 marks, you only have to write the definition and formula, but if it comes for 3 or 5 marks, you have to write in detail whatever I have taught you in my previous video. Then we discussed about HDI and UNDP, isn't it? What is UNDP, children? UNDP means United Nations Development Program, and UNDP it has been decided that along with income, what are the other criteria which are essential for measuring development of the country? And the other criteria according to UNDP are health status, literacy rate, and per capita income. These are the 3 criteria which are used for measuring the development of a person and development of a nation. And according to this, in your book, in a separate table, ranking of different countries are being given, like India, Sri Lanka, China. And I gave you in homework also that you have to draw that graph, you have to learn that graph and post it on the WhatsApp group or in the MS Teams group. This will be your homework. And with this I will complete the lesson and will continue with the revision in the next class. Thank you.